Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back with another review. And I'm continuing my Vincenzo Natali marathon or whatever with Nothing. Yes, that's literally the name of the movie. This is a sci-fi comedy drama film directed by Vincenzo Natali from 2003, and it stars David Hewlett and Andrew Miller. In this The film tells the story of two good friends who live together, Andrew, an agoraphobic travel agent who works from his home, and Dave, a loser who works in an office where he is treated with contempt. Just when it seems things can't get any worse for the two, the entire world outside their house disappears and is replaced with an endless white void. So, what did I think of this film? Nothing. Um, Kinda hard to rate. Um, but this is an incredibly original. Again, it's not perfect, but it's an incredibly original, funny, sad, even freaky at times, uh, sci-fi comedy drama that I think works very fucking well. Um, Again, it's not perfect, but especially given the originality of the concept, I just think it works so well, especially given the lead actors, and I'll get to them right now. David Hewlett plays Dave, again, businessman, not a lot's working in his life. David Hewlett, uh, if you know Vincenzo Natali's other movies, he's in Cube, he's in Splice, he's in Haunter, he's in Cypher, he's in, yeah, he's in this one. So he's in 5 out of Vincenzo Natali's, I think, 6 films he's directed. Um, and he is a spectacular actor. I love him as an actor. Um, and I think he works really well here and has a lot of really funny deliveries. There were quite a few memorable lines, I thought. Um, uh, Andrew Miller plays Andrew. Both of these actors play themselves. Apparently, that's kind of a gimmick with the movie is that they're playing themselves. Um, and it says everything in this movie happened in real life. Obviously, it's a joke. But Andrew Miller plays Andrew again, agoraphobic travel agent, doesn't want to leave his house. Um, he does a really fucking great job as well, and I think he plays the agoraphobia very well. This actor, Andrew Miller, is also a co-writer of this film, along with an actor also in the film, Andrew Lowry, who plays the mean boss. Um, Andrew Miller played Kazan in Cube, and after this film was only in one other film, uh, forgot what it was called. But yeah, oh, Princess in Exile. Yeah, he didn't really act a lot after this. And now I just found out he's a school teacher at a school for autistic and developmentally disabled children, which that's really cool because he played an autistic man or a mentally challenged. I don't they never really explicitly say, but he was a savant and all that. And it was cool to see him in another role, and I think he did a really good job playing this character. Great job. Both of the actors hold a lot of this movie together. Um, Also, other actors of note in this, Martin Roach plays a coworker in a small scene. He was in Cube Zero, which again, Natali had nothing to do with, but because he's a Canadian actor, probably was just in the movie because Canadian movies have to have a certain amount of Canadian actors. And Maurice Steven Wint plays the narrator at the beginning. He played Quentin in Cube. So you've got like all of these people together. David Hewlett and Andrew Miller and Vincenzo Natali worked on the story. So this is really a passion project. And not to say that Vincenzo Natali's other films weren't passion projects. Cube was made out of basically him saying, I can make a movie with a single room, kind of like Saw. And I think this film, again, the concept sells itself. These two guys, when life's getting to the bottom, rock bottom, they feel like nothing's going good in their life, they get transported to this void, and where I'm not going to spoil it because I do want people to watch this online. Here's the thing, but that I have to explain the plot. At some point in the film, they realize that they can make things disappear or memories disappear by saying they don't exist. And that's how they came into this, was they were acting as they were wishing that they weren't in all the shit they're in. Like the agoraphobic character, Andrew, was like locked out of his house, and a girl like helped him get into the house, and then she like told her mom that he like did things to her, which pretty fucked up. But it does happen. I've heard of people dealing with that. And the other character, his like girlfriend he's had for 2 weeks, girlfriend he's had for 2 weeks, has been embezzling money through from his company, using his password. So now the cops are after both of them. They're gonna demolish this house, and then they wish that nothing was happening. So, or hope that nothing happens. And the then the rest of the film happens with just their house and this big white void where they can kind of bounce around. And this kind of did remind me visually of Cube in a way, like the bright light at the end of the film, that motif. This feels like exactly the type of movie that somebody who makes a movie like Cube would make when asked to make a comedy. Like an existential, like, comedy about, like, somebody else put it very well. The it like them talking about like the fact that they're in this void, they don't have to deal with bills and everything, but they still may never see a human again. Like this kind of existentialism thing, I think works really well in this. And it does actually offer up some very dramatic scenes that I think are very well done. And a lot of that can be attributed to David Hewlett and Andrew Miller, because if these two performances weren't as good as this movie could be painful. A movie that hinges so much on on the two main performers, kind of like Saw. If Carrie Elways and what's his name? Damn it, I'm trying to think of his name. Lee Winnell. If Carrie Elways and Lee Winnell did act very well throughout that film, which they have their moments where they're not great, um, but they're still interesting enough characters that I cared. Here, you again have two really great lead performances, and they work very well off of each other. You buy them as friends. I would believe it if I found out that the actors were best friends, because they argue like best friends, they talk like best friends, they play video games together like best friends, and I not gonna lie, I identified with some of the things in this, some of the themes in this movie, where it's like the existential dread of, yes, we don't have to deal with all of this other stuff, like bills and police and all that, and eating, because you can just that you're hungry and then your hunger will go away. But you also have to deal with being alone. And as someone who is I'm pretty sheltered when it comes to like I don't like go out that often, and I know it's something I should change. I'm trying to change it very soon, but it did tug at me a bit, and I did connect with this film quite a bit. This film may not be as amazing as I'm building it up to be, but the fact that I connected with it in that way, something that I don't see that often in film. I think, again, bumps it up quite a bit for me. And I do recommend this. I can recommend this to fans of pretty much any genre. I mean, if you like dramas, I think you'll be into this. If you like comedies, I think you'll be into this. The comedy is very broad, but um, they do use some shock humor at a bit. If you've seen the film, you know what I mean. But overall, it worked for the message and for what the film is trying to do story-wise. Um, the effects. Now, this is a film that, yes, it does have effects, even though they're in a void of nothing and the house. The effects used to achieve the whole like house floating thing look really fucking good. Uh, there's bits where like they're bouncing and everything. Those are very well done. Uh, whenever they sink away an object, that effect usually looks really good. The effects overall look really good, and if they didn't, I think it would be a detriment. Um, especially some effects near the end of the film were very impressive. Uh, I'm surprised how good the cinematography was for it being, again, a white void for most of it. Um, at the very beginning, it's a bit shaky, but I'm okay with that. It you can see that as like how different the real world is to this void world. Um, the music by Andrew Robinson, who I'm pretty sure this guy, if I can find him on here. Oh, excuse me, Michael Andrews. I don't know why I said Andrew Robinson. This guy worked on Donnie Darko, Bridesmaids, Totally Killer. He also worked on Cypher, which I watched last. Oh, and another film that I picked up, The Reluctant Fundamentalist. Very, it's not too over the top. It's subtle enough. Um, and works with the kind of goofy tone it's going for. Again, I think it uses its concept very well. Um, to again, there's a lot of tension, and you wouldn't think there'd be a lot of tension when the setting for most of the movie is this white void, but there legitimately is quite a bit, and it uses that space very well. There's a lot of interesting things that happen with it. Some very memorable lines, I thought. That I really liked, where one of the character Andrew keeps saying, um, to Dave, excuse me. Andrew keeps saying to Dave, maybe we're dead. Maybe we've crossed over to the afterlife. We got shot by the cops or something. And then he says, "We aren't dead. We have cable." I liked that line. I thought it was funny. The delivery was very good. The delivery of both of them really works for the comedy. Um, but yeah, like there's not a lot for me to say because I don't want to give away everything because this movie is very interesting. I will link it is on YouTube, and I do have to warn, this film is very hard to find. The only way you can really watch it is on DVD, and the DVD's out of print, I'm pretty sure. So it is on YouTube. I'll link it down below, but it is only in 480p, which sucks because apparently this film never really got a release anywhere other than Canada and the US, and it's not on streaming services. So that's basically the only way you can watch it. That sucks, but it happens. I hope that someday we'll get like a Vincenzo Natali like Blu-ray box set. That could be cool. And I hope he's not done directing. But yeah, um, really enjoyed this. Yeah, that was my review of Nothing. If you've seen the film, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations, put them down there as well. And movie reviewer next door.